beautiful soul stars, welcome to Starlight, Starbright Tarot. I hope you're all well. Love, light and blessings to each and every one of you. And we'll get started. Let's find out what's happening for you. Okay, let's get going. We're using the Starman Tarot, which is based on David Bowie and his music and his art. So let's get started. What does the collective, the Soul Star Collective, need to hear today? Thank you, Divine Ones. Thank you, Divine All. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. We'll take 3 to start, okay? Because one card can give us many things. And we have Death. So we have the Death card, and see how these cards, they're quite amazing artistically. So yeah, very beautiful. But yeah, Death is here. And see in this card, like, it looks pretty scary, but see how we have this beautiful flower. It's a daylily. Yeah, daylilies is what I'm getting for you. So Death, you know, rebirth. Starting again. There's an ending so things can begin. We have Roman numerals of X111. So X is 10, you know, endings for new beginnings. Learning how to collaborate with others is very, very important. This came up yesterday. So you have to think about collaborating in ways. You might be a bit of a loner. You might like to do things alone. This keeps coming up as well. But at the end of the day, you know, we need other humans. Some people are great at collaborating on their own, but this is saying that you need to collaborate with others with that 3 there. That can be the 3 of Pentacles, it can be the 3 of Wands, you know, planning, looking out, planning your way forward. So, you know, things are coming to an end, whether you like it or not, because this is Major Arcana. And Major Arcana is, you know, it's out of our control. So there's a Death here and there's a rebirth here. And then we have the Tower. Oh my goodness, this is a huge change. This is a massive shift. You know, everything is going to be brought down. The ego is going to be released. And of course, you know, we all need a little bit of ego. But at the end of the day, you know, it's the ego that creates a lot of negative reactions and actions that we often take. You know, our ego gets hit, our sensitivities are hit. All of these negative things are ego based. So spiritually based, you don't let these things get to you. When, you know, you're sitting in spirit, when you're sitting in faith, you know, you're letting go of these negatives. You're letting go. Devil, get behind me kind of idea, and try and take a more positive attitude. And see, we have X, V1, X again, things coming to an end, completion. V is 5. 5s are all about conflict. They're all about pushback, you know, angry behaviors, not getting along with others, wanting to be on top at the expense of others. And 1, individuality. So, you know, being yourself has become very important. All of this has been taken away from you, being stripped away from you, so that you can come to be yourself and to be brave enough to be yourself. And if that's a quiet, withdrawn person, then be quiet. You don't have to overcome it by trying to force yourself to be a talker, to be the center of attention, or any of these sorts of things. You don't have to force yourself to do anything. The Tower is here to tell us that all is being stripped away because we have to start again. There is a new beginning. We've got green eyes here as well. So, you know, there's a lot of jealousy here. And jealousy, we think, well, I'm not a jealous person. I don't get jealous. You know, what's the purpose of jealousy? I certainly think that way. But at the end of the day, when we compare ourselves to others, are we comparing ourselves because we think we're better, or because, you know, because we think they're better? You know, are we kind of subconsciously jealous of what other people have compared to ourselves? Do we think we deserve something because we think we're better than the person who has more than us? You know, all of these things have to be let go of. There could be people who are very jealous of you. They've been wanting to tear you down. This is all coming to an end. You're being protected by the Divine All, and you need to take a divine attitude. Okay, oh wow, okay. And we have the Star card. What is this? I shuffled these cards, I divided them, I cleansed them. So this is Major Arcana. And see, this with the Tower as well, you know, it doesn't have to be a crumbling of what's going on in your material life. It simply can be this ego energy. There's a couple here being thrown out of the Tower. So there could be a couple around you who have been trying to tear you down. There's two people who've been trying to tear you down because you dare to be yourself. But the Star card is here for cleansing, for good health, for restoration is what I'm getting here. You know, you're going to rise up bigger, better than ever. So, because people love to tear other people down, they love to criticize. You know, everyone's a critic. It's so much easier to be a critic than it is to be a creator. And the Divine All wants you to be a creator. Your career could actually take off with the Tower here as well. God wants you to get out of the way. They want you just to relax, to keep doing what you're doing, keep working on yourself, and you're going to have enormous success. So there's a lot of success here. When it comes to your future, you're going to be able to build back better, to use a slogan. But yeah, the Star card. So the success here is very much on the cards for you. And here's another card. Oh, and Two of Cups. And this is interesting. This is in the same position as yesterday. So there could be a tearing apart. You could be losing people out of your life, losing friendships, decluttering, getting rid of a lot of material baggage, getting rid of a lot of emotional baggage with the Tower here and Death here, so that you can come together with your true soulmate, with your true soul crew. Look at these two, you know, entangled in one another. So, you know, this is also Kundalini. You're both of like mind, you're both of spirit. See the prayer hands here as well. You both have prayed for one another and you are coming together. So things need to be destroyed in order for it to begin again. A new cycle of your life is about to begin. And on the bottom, we have the Queen of Wands. That's interesting. This came up in yesterday's reading as well, but I didn't really read for the Queen of Wands. But the Queen of Wands is very sociable, very beautiful. A lot of people are jealous of the vivaciousness of a Queen of Wands. They're very vivacious, very sociable, but they do have their hands on their hips. So, you know, this hands on the hips kind of idea is very much, wow, how come they're getting all the success when I'm better than them? Why has music become so demonic? Yes, we need to change that. But nothing much has changed. The same thing happened back in the 70s, and I know because I was there. And then we have the Hanged Man, you know, needing to be patient, needing to, you know, take your time, needing to see things from another perspective. Instead of worrying what other people do or don't have, you have to know that you have everything you need to be this beautiful Queen of Wands, Queen of the limelight. But, you know, this is the thing, you know, when we're given power, when we're given limelight, when we're given notoriety, does the power go to our head? You know, this is the thing. We have to walk in spirit. We have to put ourselves out there in a way that is good for us, good for our, you know, families, good for our community and so forth. So things are coming to an end as well. This could also be that the demonic aspects of Hollywood, the demonic aspects of music is also coming to an end. You're probably going to see a big change when it comes to art, music, and all of these things. It's interesting, I was reading a book that was written in the 1960s and the 1970s, and you know, he was sort of talking about mass famine and the end of the world coming, you know, by the year 2000. It's interesting because although we have, you know, food problems and inflation, and, you know, we can't buy all the junk food we used to, you know, because it's too expensive or whatever, at the end of the day, the world actually has less famine than it did in the 70s. So a lot of these third world countries are no longer third world countries, is what I'm getting to say to you. And we have the Hermetics. So, you know, Hermeticism is a form of religion. You can look it up. And we have the Six of Cups, Lord of Pleasure. So, you know, Six of Cups is, in the traditional right away, we see somebody taller giving a cup of flowers to somebody smaller. But this is also about family, about nostalgia, happy days. You know, this is what you're wishing for. You're wishing for a happy family. You're wanting some kind of, perhaps even a reconciliation with someone within your family. Yeah, so this, you know, maybe you think it's all over, but, you know, but it's not. Things are going to change. You have to change your approach. They have to change their approach. There is some kind of mediation here, but also the divine wants you to have pleasure in your life. The divine wants you to be happy, that you deserve happiness, that you deserve joy. There could be something here, because this is also a card of Scorpio, which is a card, you know, which is also, Scorpio is also death. So, you know, maybe you're afraid that there's a sting in the tail for everything. Maybe you're afraid to receive love. Maybe you're afraid to receive from someone bigger than you, I'm getting. You know, you may not feel like you're worthy. And this is kind of blocking you. This has to stop. You know, you think there's a sting in the tail in everything. You know, this is too good to be true. But this is imagining. This is an illusion that you have created around yourself to protect yourself from pain, from suffering, because, you know, maybe you've just suffered and had way too much betrayal and pain in your life. But, you know, that God wants you to be happy, that God wants you to have your wishes granted to you. You deserve this Six of Cups of peace, peace offering. A peace offering could be coming your way, an offering of peace. And it's going to change everything. Yeah, your perspective is going to change with the Hangman, and you're going to grow. You're going to vibe high. Your vibration is going to be very high. Queen of Wands is very high vibrational. It is lower chakra, so there is some kind of, like, what would the Christians call it, like Jezebel kind of stuff going on. But at the end of the day, this is enlightenment. You know, you can be sparkling, you can be fun, you can even be flirtatious. The Queen of Wands is naturally flirtatious, as long as it's not for all the wrong reasons. There has to be some kind of purity to it all. Purification with the Star card is what I'm getting back to innocence. But you definitely have a soulmate coming into your life. And then we have the Devil. We have temptations with the Tower. And see, you know, the devil gets into our ego. I heard something yesterday. She's a preacher, I think, of some kind. But she said, you know, the devil can't just take you home. The devil can't just, you know, like people say, well, the devil made me do it, you know, damned be to the devil. But you have to agree to it in some way. And I pondered this and I meditated on what this meant. And what it means is, it's like if you think, oh, I'm going to end up homeless and on the street. If you believe that, then you're making a contract with the devil. You're giving the devil permission to take it all away from you, to destroy your life. So you have to, you know, when you think those things, that's not what God wants for you. That's not what a loving, you know, universal divine person of love and light wants for you. They don't want you to be on the streets. They don't want you to have nothing. They don't want you to be left and, you know, left alone and wandering. You know, the Lord of God, you know, the God of love and light wants you to be happy. So stop making those deals with the devil. Stop letting the negative thoughts, you know, the feelings of unworthiness get the better of you. This is all being, you know, like blown away from you. There's going to be almost like a miracle occurring where your attitude just changes. You just start to see the world in a more positive light. You just start to realize that all of this talk of destruction, of wars, you know, this has been going on, you know, every generation. Every generation has had all of this conflict, you know, but there is good in all of this. And the more that we project good into the world, the more that is manifest. So that's for somebody. So the Star card. So, you know, things are being torn away from you. Things that don't serve you with the devil here, you know, things that are just, it's like overindulgence, because Six of Cups can be a little bit indulgent as well. You know, it's time to sort of stop indulging in negative thinking, stop indulging yourself in things that aren't good for you. You know, when you buy things, you know, buy out of necessity. Yes, you can have beautiful things, but you don't need 2 of them. You don't need 3 of them. You know, keep the things that are important to you, sentimental to you, and get rid of everything else. There's some kind of cleansing that's needed here within your environment, within your home. And then we have the Hierophant, Magus of the ethereal gods. Is that right? Eternal. So I'm reading upside down. Magus of the eternal gods, the Hierophant. So, you know, something traditional here as well. There could be something here to do with government, schools, these sorts of things. You're going to be seen as a star, or a star is born. You may be asked to walk a more traditional path, or maybe a less traditional path. Let's just clarify that. It could go either way. With the star card here, it's kind of like breaking down old structures with the Hierophant and the Tower. Old structures are being broken down to make way for the new. And what are old structures when it comes to you on a personal level? It's old habits. It's these little habits that you do that ultimately do not serve you. A way of thinking, a way of walking through the world that no longer serves you. So, you know, you may be thinking everything, you're losing everything, but at the end of the day, you're just going to be traveling more light, is what I'm getting. At their Majesty's service. Are you going to become a spy? I don't know. But yeah, there's changes in government going on here as well. That could even be in Australia. We could see a change of government. Yeah. So, Lord of Defeat, 5 of Swords. So 5 of Swords and the 2 of Cups. You know, you feel very defeated when it comes to love, when it comes to soulmates. You know, you've been attracting manipulators, you've been, you know, and you can't manipulate and win at all cost over someone else. You know, we have to let go of any form of manipulation here. And you might think, well, I'm not a manipulator, but simply sort of trying to have like a win attitude is a form of manipulation. Like, to have our true soulmates in our life, to have a true soulmate in our life, where we don't have an agenda, we're not looking for an edge in order to protect ourselves. Like the 5 of Swords is generally the narcissist trying to protect themselves by putting it onto others. So this is a fear for you, this is a block for you as well. Maybe you've had issues with authority, with traditional structures. You know, these are the blocks, these are your experiences going forward. You're afraid of being manipulated. Yeah, it's almost like getting back to being innocent and trusting in God is really difficult, because you have had problems in all of these areas. You've had problems with housing, with the Tower here. You've had problems with people in authority holding you to ransom with the roof over you, you know, trying to keep a roof over your head, you know, staying with people because you're afraid of being homeless, or whatever it is. And that it's all valid, you can validate it, but the divine is asking you to let go, that you are going to have success, and no one's going to be able to take it away from you. So, you know, all your fears here, what's being kept from you, all these things that are, you know, that you're afraid of, are all being broken down and broken away, so that you can live successfully, so that you can have an enjoyable life, so that you can have success. Oh yeah, and then we have the 3 of Cups here, and here it's called Lord of Abundance. So you're going to be showered in love and abundance. This is the thing as well, there's an abundance of love. You could be one of 3, or 3s are important to you in some way. But also this 3 of Cups, you know, again, in this deck, similar to the yesterday's tarot of Aleister Crowley, you know, it's like a celebration here. It's like some kind of wedding shower. You know, you're going to be showered with love, is what I'm getting to say to you. So, you know, it's kind of like the old ways aren't for you. You have to walk a unique path. There could be something here to do with art and music and all of those sorts of things, the arts. Yeah, but also the dark arts are going to start taking a back seat, because this is divine intervention as well. There's divine intervention coming into your life to release you from all these fears. And, you know, when you start to, you know, become more confident, like the Queen of Wands is, when you decide to leave a difficult situation, when you decide to pack it all in, and somebody wants to keep you, they want to keep you under the thumb because they just want to use you for your talent, or they want to use you for, you know, maybe, you know, as a servant to your partner. You know, they want to keep you down, they want to keep you low, you know, they're angry, they're abusive. And you know, these powers, you know, these dark force powers, whether they're on a personal level or on a macro level, when they lose their grip, they start to go crazy, and they can become dangerous. So you're going to be freed from all of this, all of these constraints, all of these traditional constructs. All the constructs are being broken down, and it's time to free yourself to live the life that you truly deserve and would like to live. If you are a traditional person, that's okay. If you just want to have the kids, you just want to have the kids, you just want to have the house, you want a traditional marriage, you want a traditional life, that is being given to you also. This is not, you know, this is your choice. But we can't let the devil decide for us. We can't decide through fear. We can't stop ourselves through fear. We have to let go of it all. That's the devil at work in your life. Have faith. Having faith is to take a positive attitude, is to walk with a spring in your step, knowing that nothing can touch you, that you are protected. And that's not an easy thing to do when you've been through difficulties, but you can do that, and you will do it. This is all that's being asked from you. This is all that's being asked of you, is to have faith. And all of these obstacles will be... Sorry, I just had to change my battery. Okay, so I don't know what I was saying, so I lost my train of thought. I get so absorbed that I don't even remember what I'm saying half the time. But the Queen of Wands, you know, you're going to have a glow up, you're going to shine bright. And also following the sun, something like the sunflowers, you know, they follow the sun. If anyone's grown sunflowers, you can see this. Although we have had some peculiar stories of sunflowers that aren't following the sun that we can see. But yeah, Lord of Abundance here, you know, pleasure and abundance, you're allowed to have it, but it cannot be, you know, it has to be kind of like pure. It can't be, you know, it can't be the devil energy, the temptation energy. You have to, you know, look for love and allow yourself to love and be loved for the right reasons, not because of low self-esteem, not because you want to have something over someone. You know, there could be somebody here who's using sex to keep someone with them. But again, this is a breakdown of relationships. It's a breakdown of old ways, of old structures. So, you know, there's renewal here with the Death card. And then the Lord of Abundance, Three of Cups, you know, this is friendship as well. You know, there could be three others coming into your life, a soulmate, and then maybe you're going to end up with a couple of really good friends who you can enjoy being with. And this is just going to light you up, you know, this is just going to make you feel alive. You know, the Queen of Wands is very much alive. And also maybe, you know, you enjoy Hermeticism. Maybe you like to learn about all these old things. You know, maybe you enjoy pagan rituals. You know, these are things like celebrating spring and harvest and, you know, these old ways. You could actually be from that kind of Celtic pagan period, like Braveheart. I mean, you know, yeah, Braveheart was pretty brutal though. Living in those times. And then we have the Tower of again, Lord of the House of the Mighty. Now this is interesting. So the blasted tower again, I'll just show it to you closer. So, you know, here's the Tower of Destruction, and this is like with the Three of Cups. If Three of Cups in reverse, it can be, you know, people talking about you. It can be gossip, you know, gossiping around the water cooler and things like that. With the Tower behind this, it's like anyone who dares to gossip about you, anyone who is going to have it sort of pointed all back at them. Like, you know, it's easy to point out hypocrisy when you do it with diplomacy. We're seeing it today. You know, we have governments that meddle in other people's affairs and accuse certain governments of meddling in affairs, but they're meddling in the affairs. So it's kind of like hypocrisy is going to get blown out of the water, because this is water energy as well. You know, people who point the finger point three back at themselves. So the Tower is here as protective energy for you as much as it is to wake you up. This is to really wake you up to the fact that you're a divine being, that you've been here many lifetimes, the soul goes on, and you know, there's some healing and cleansing needed. Needing to take care of your health is what I'm getting as well with this Two of Cups. But there's a healing together here. You know, if you've been alone for a little while, or you've just gone from one manipulative narcissist to the other, the divine is bringing someone in who you can share your love with without the fear of being manipulated, without the fear of somebody having more power, having power over you. Yeah, is what I'm getting to say to you. So we'll just do some tea leaves, and I've cleansed all my cards, and I've shuffled them, and I've done all sorts of things to make sure that they're properly shuffled, and I can't believe how much major arcana is here. It's incredible. So it's kind of out of your hands. You just have to let it happen. And, you know, that's very much how the Buddhist, you know, the Buddhist teachings tell us, although there's some faults with all religions, of course. But the Buddhists just say, you know, let it happen. Let it happen and be the peace and calm you need to be while it all crumbles. There's a rebuild going on here. Things are about to change. Flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. And that's interesting because that's here with the Tower, the Devil, Death, and Pleasure. So, you know, lower your expectations, raise your standards. In fact, don't expect anything, but raise your standards. You know, pay attention to the red flags. This is very, very important. Don't partner with people, don't do things because of some kind of negative desire or negative thinking on your behalf, you know, is what I'm getting. And then what do we have? Hand. In need of help, assistance, and guidance. So you're going to get the help that you need. You're going to get the assistance that you need. And when your life improves, pay it forward. You know, put your hand out in order to lift others, to help others, to assist others. And this is with the Hierophant as well. There could be something here to do with being charitable and charities. Perhaps setting up a charity that actually gives the money to the people who truly need it, rather than, you know, bureaucratic payments and employees sucking the world dry. But also, you know, you could have somebody who's coming for your help. They need assistance. And this is what I was saying as well, like you need to collaborate. I said that at the beginning, you're needing to collaborate with others. Somebody may need your help and assistance so that they can become the star, so that they can have the light. Like, this is like being in the limelight as well. You could end up becoming a business manager, or just giving good advice to others to help them on their life's journey, to help them to have the courage to become this very courageous Queen of Wands. And we have Grasshopper, and grasshoppers are enlightenment. So this is all about enlightenment, being enlightened. All of a sudden you're going to see everything for how it truly is, and you're going to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, smarten yourself up, and have the glow up, have the blow up that you deserve. Your channel could blow up if you have a channel to do with art, to do with music, these sorts of things. Put it out there. So whatever you're creating, it could be an online business, yeah, it's going to actually blow up. And anyone who tries to hurt you or harm you, or to be spiteful towards you, that kind of thing, is going to get blown out of the water with this Tower, is what I'm getting. So also we have to have the mindset of not being spiteful. We have to wish others well. And wishing others well. So wishing well here as well. So the Grasshopper situation in the balance that require careful handling. So, you know, we have to be careful with our thoughts and our words. Are we manipulating? Are we bargaining? You know, are we bargaining to get what we want? You know, you can't bargain for what you want. You just have to let what is yours come into you. And this is what's going to happen. So, wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Wedge. So, you know, this could be the thing too. There could be, I think I said that before, there's a couple here who maybe want to drag you down, who want to build their success on you, that kind of thing, take credit for you, keep you hidden away. They just don't want you to be popular. They don't want you to have the shine on you. They want it on them, but you know, the shine is all on you. You know, this is dull black and white stuff. You know, somebody around you just sees things as black and white, and they're keeping you from your loved ones. When people isolate you from your loved ones, or when they say disparaging things about your loved ones, you know, that's a sign, that's a red flag. Now, if they're saying things that are true, that's different. But if they're saying things that are not true, they don't really know you, and they're just really trying to have the power to themselves, keep someone to themselves, someone you love, then, you know, they're going to get blasted. They're going to be in the tower, is what I'm getting. So there's all, oh, and then we have the Star card, guaranteed success. So you just have to be careful how you handle this. You have to be, you know, like, this could also be a Queen of Wands, very jealous, you know, can be very jealous, but she's not in reverse. But yeah, the Queen of Wands can be very, very jealous. So there could be something there, just as a, you know, as a side. Or there's somebody in your friendship group who's jealous. Three's a crowd, maybe, I'm not sure. So anyway, so yeah, Star. So there's guaranteed success here, but you need to have diplomacy. You need to tread carefully. You may need to actually just take yourself out of the equation. You know, you can sense it. You have the intuition. You can feel it. This person could be identified as very traditional. You know, they're conservative in some way. Like, I don't mean conservative, I'm not talking politics here. I'm talking, you know, they're conservative in their dress. They could be quite reserved, but behind the scenes, they're kind of manipulating. They're working on someone you love. They're working on a family member, or they're working on someone to throw shade on you. So, you know, you probably already sense this or know this. There's no point trying to fight this. You can't be part of, you can't manipulate someone else. You can't get, when somebody's blinded by someone else, whether it be for love or work or whatever, when someone you love is being blinded by someone else, somebody who's black and white, somebody who's hateful, somebody who's just, you know, not very nice person, deep down, they present themselves as being righteous, but yet they're far from it. That kind of thing. Hypocrites, yeah, hypocrites, that's a word I was using before. So, you know, this person's a hypocrite. They put on a good appearance, you know, that they're very good at putting on an appearance, but behind the scenes, they're kind of not very nice. And you sense this, but you can't get entangled. Like, you could have a child who's with a bad partner, and, you know, you say the truth about that person, and all the hate's put on you. It's like the messenger, you know, or you know that somebody's having an affair. You tell your friend, or your partner's having an affair, and they get angry with you because they go into immediate shock, and then they go into grief because they know it's true deep down. They know it's true deep down. So, you know, they go into shock, and then they go into grief, and then they go into anger, and that can all happen in a split second, and you're just going to get hit with it. So it's best not to get involved. They will see it for what it all is. An arrow. You are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. So you're on the right path. This could be to do with February. Bull. Do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. Now, showing strength and fortitude doesn't necessarily mean using words. You're just not going to budge. You're not going to budge. This person has to come to you, Six of Cups. They have to bring a peace offering. They have to make amends, because this is the kind of situation, and you should already know this, this situation isn't for everybody, but for those who are in this situation where you know that if you don't stand your ground, if you don't stay silent, if you don't take yourself out of the equation, that you're just going to get manipulated and be embroiled. You know, this person wants you to be wrong about their partner or their friendship or something like that. You don't want to get embroiled in that. And dog barking, advice from a friend. So lending a helping hand, giving some advice. You could be getting traditional advice, a psychologist with the Hierophant here, but also, you know, asking God asking the divine, asking your ancestors, your loving guides to help you and assist you. But the dog barking, it's a bit of a warning as well, so be careful, you know, who's advising who here. There could be somebody who's advising someone you love, maybe someone in your family or friendship group. They're advising this person for their own advantage, so there could be something there. Does this make sense? And then announcement bell. So yeah, they need to come to you. They need to bring a peace offering. They need to, you know, yeah, they need to come to the light, and you kind of have to let them be in order for that to happen, is what I'm getting. So, right, but in the meantime, you know, you're breaking, you know, new ground. You're moving away from old structures. You're rebuilding your life in a new way. I mean, you've learned lessons from this as well. It's best not to interfere. People have to come to it themselves and focus on yourself. So there's an awakening here, you know, moving towards enlightenment, and you're also moving towards someone or to some people who deserve your time and attention as they deserve, you know, as you deserve theirs. So we have the enchanted map. So, you know, success is guaranteed here. But what you need to do is focus on yourself, meditation, kundalini, these sorts of things. If you're more traditional, then prayer, having faith, letting it all go by just relaxing and knowing that everything's going to be fine. All's well that ends well, the wishing well. So your wish is coming true. And we have compass, you know, which is similar to the Wheel of Fortune. So, you know, good fortune here. You're on the right track. True north when it comes to the compass as well. There could also be traveling involved. Somebody traveling to come and see you because they're coming to you with a peace. Oh, sorry, I just bumped my camera. They're coming to you with a peace offering. This person could be at a distance from you. Basically, you're no longer contacting them with the death card and the compass here with the tower. This is kind of like death and destruction of the ego, and rebuilding, new, yeah, renewal. But also a compass here, like I have this compass, God's path. You know, get onto the righteous path, be righteous, check yourself for hypocrisy, and keep moving forward. So that's a 50, that's 5. So, you know, change through chaos. You know, we get chaotic when things crumble and break down. It affects us mentally and emotionally, and we can be very chaotic. You're being asked to let go of the chaos, stop worrying about, you know, what's going on, the destructive energies of the world, because something good's coming from all of this. These breakdowns of relationships, something good, it's going to be better. 2 star cards. This is going to be healing. You know, healing. Once you hit rock bottom, you can either stay there, which you're not doing. God's people never stay down, they always get back up. Yeah, you know, it's going to be much better than you ever expected. Your life is about to change in ways that you can't imagine. So, and then you can't believe that. Look, wishing well. There you go. Didn't I know that was coming up? 48, 84, 12. And on the bottom, strength, 44. 44 could be a number associated to you. It's a very powerful number. And 8, you know, all power to you. So, you know, you're going to grow in strength. You can lift the world. You will lift the world. As you lift yourself in light, you lift everyone around you. So, you know, this is what we're being asked to do, to lift our energy, to raise our vibration, and to know that we are strong enough to overcome anything. And wishing well. You know, look at the gold here. So you're going to have the finances you need, wishes coming true. This could also be stardom. You could be meeting somebody who's in the limelight, who is a star, or there's someone around you who's going to become highly successful. But the block for them is that they have to make amends with you before their success comes. So something like that. They have to humble themselves before God, and they have to humble themselves before you, is what I'm getting. Some apologies coming forward maybe. But also, if you're creating something, if you're becoming a creator, you're going to be very, very successful. more successful than you could imagine. Whatever this is, you're going to be very successful. But what you're being asked to do in order for this success to come to you is just to kind of is just to let go, let God, have faith that all will be well. Stop worrying. And how do you do that? Stop worrying. Worry is the devil's work. You know, negative thinking is the devil's work. God wants you to rise up and shine. Rise and shine, baby. Your time is here. Love to you. Bye.